Have you ever laid awake at night, staring at the ceiling, while your mind spins faster than a storm? One thought becomes 10, 10 become 100, and suddenly you're drowning in what-ifs and maybes. You try to rest, but your brain won't let you. You try to decide, but every choice feels like a trap. It's not just thinking, it's overthinking, and it steals your sleep, your peace, your life. This is where our story begins. There was once a young woman named Elena, 26 years old, living in a small city apartment. By day, she worked at an office. By night, she lived in her head. When friends invited her out, she hesitated, replaying 1,000 scenarios of how the evening might go. When she wanted to apply for a new job, she froze, imagining every possible rejection. Even in love, she struggled. Her heart wanted to leap, but her mind tied it down with invisible ropes. Her smile looked real, but inside, Elena was trapped in a cage of her own thoughts. One evening, Elena sat at her desk, a blank job application glowing on her laptop screen. Her hands hovered above the keyboard, but she couldn't type. What if I'm not good enough? What if they laugh at my resume? What if I fail? Her chest grew tight, her breath shallow. The silence of her apartment became unbearable. And then, the tears came. Not because she was weak, but because she was exhausted. Exhausted from wrestling with her own mind. She whispered to herself, "I just want peace. 5 minutes of peace." At that moment, a knock came at her door. It was her elderly neighbor, Mr. Rowan, silver hair, gentle eyes, carrying a small plant in his hands. "I thought you might like this," he said softly. "It needs a new home." Elena thanked him, embarrassed that he might notice her red eyes. But Mr. Rowan paused before leaving. He looked at her desk, at her trembling hands, at her weary face. "You're thinking too much, aren't you?" he asked kindly. She froze, then nodded. He set the plant down on her desk. "Come, I'll show you something." Mr. Rowan led her to his balcony garden. Tiny pots lined with herbs, flowers, and vegetables. The night air was cool, the city lights flickering below. He pointed to the plant in her hands. "Do you know why this plant lives?" he asked. Elena shook her head. "Because it doesn't argue with itself. It doesn't say, 'What if the sun is too hot? What if the rain is too heavy?' It simply grows." Then he looked at her with steady eyes and said words she would never forget. 1. Overthinking is a storm. You cannot stop the storm, but you can step out of the rain. 2. The mind races when the body is still. So, move, walk, breathe, write. Action unties the knots. 3. 5 minutes is enough. 5 minutes of silence, of breath, of focus, and the storm weakens. 4. You do not need the whole answer today. You only need the next step. 5. The plant grows because it trusts the season. Trust your season and grow where you are planted. That night, Elena returned to her desk. Her heart was still racing, but she remembered his words. She set a timer for 5 minutes. She closed her eyes, breathed in, breathed out. She wrote one line in her journal, "I will send the application." And when the timer rang, she hit submit. Her fear didn't vanish, but it no longer ruled her. Day by day, Elena practiced the 5 minutes. 5 minutes of breathing before big decisions. 5 minutes of writing when her head felt heavy. 5 minutes of silence when the storm of thoughts tried to pull her under. And slowly, like the plant on her desk, she grew. Not perfectly, not overnight, but steadily, strongly, peacefully. So, my friend, if you find yourself lost in the storm of overthinking, remember this. You don't need to solve your whole life tonight. You only need 5 minutes of stillness, 5 minutes of courage, 5 minutes to choose peace over panic. Because peace is not found in thinking harder. It is found in living softer. Like this video, subscribe for more real and life-changing stories every day, and share this with someone who needs to hear. 5 minutes can change your life.